You've heard it 1,000 times. Eat your vegetables, walk every day, drink your water, take your vitamins. You've been hearing this since you were 40, and you've done your best. So here's the question nobody asks. Why does one 74-year-old wake up at 5 in the morning, walk 2 miles, and remember every grandchild's name, while another 74-year-old, born in the same town, eating the same food, can't remember his own daughters? It isn't luck. It isn't genes. It isn't the supplements on your kitchen counter. The real answer shows up in the first 5 minutes after you open your eyes in the morning. Not at noon, not at the doctor's office. In that quiet, ordinary moment when you sit up in bed and put your feet on the floor. Today, I'm not going to tell you to drink more water. You already know that. I'm going to give you 5 small signs. 5 things your body shows, or doesn't show, in the first few minutes of the morning. If none of them show up tomorrow, you are aging better than almost everyone your age, better than people half your weight, better than people spending hundreds on supplements. 5 signs. Stay with me. Before I name them, one thing you need to know. Your brain is only 3 pounds, but it drinks a quarter of all the blood in your body. And after 7 hours of sleep, no water, slow breathing, that blood is thicker than it's been all day. Then your alarm goes off. And most people do the most dangerous thing you can do at 70. They sit up fast. They stand up faster. That's why more than half of all strokes happen in the first hour after waking, not at noon, in the quiet of your own bedroom. Those first 5 minutes tell the truth. Let's start. Here's something most people don't know. The number of Americans over 60 who say they have no close friends, no one they can really talk to about their health, has nearly tripled in the last 30 years. They wake up alone. They check themselves alone. And if a warning sign shows up, there's no one across the breakfast table to notice. That's why this matters more than ever. The signs I'm about to show you, your body has been giving them quietly for years. Most people brush them off. They blame the weather. They blame a bad night's sleep. They say, I'm just getting older. But the people who age best, the ones still walking 2 miles at 80, still remembering every grandchild's name at 85, they aren't lucky. They learn to listen to these signs early, and once you know what to listen for, you can't unhear it. Here is the first one. Open your mouth tomorrow morning before you brush your teeth, before you drink anything, and notice 2 things. Is there saliva pooling on your tongue? And when you brush, does the toothbrush come out clean or pink? Most people never check. They spit, they rinse, they move on with the day. But that small moment in front of the bathroom sink is one of the most honest health checks you will ever do. A healthy adult produces close to a quart of saliva every single day. That's not just water. Saliva carries enzymes, antibodies, and minerals that protect your gums, your teeth, your throat, and through them, your entire body. When the mouth runs dry, the gums lose their first line of defense. Bacteria settle in. Inflammation begins. And here's the part that surprises people the most. A long-term study followed over 1 million adults for 12 years. The people with gum disease, bleeding gums, receding gums, chronic mouth inflammation, had a noticeably higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, stroke, dementia, even certain cancers. Not a tiny increase, a consistent, measurable increase across nearly every major condition that takes people down in their 70s and 80s. Why does the mouth matter so much? Because the gums are not a sealed wall. They are a doorway. The bacteria that live around inflamed gums don't stay there. They slip into the bloodstream every time you chew, every time you brush. And from there, they travel to the heart, to the brain, to the organs that need clean blood the most. When you see a healthy older adult, clear eyes, sharp memory, steady walk, and you look in their mouth, you almost always find the same thing. Pink, firm gums, a tongue that isn't coated, saliva that flows easily. It is not a coincidence. So tomorrow morning, do this. Before you reach for the toothbrush, run your tongue slowly around the inside of your gums. Top, bottom, outside, inside. If saliva starts pooling under your tongue within 10 or 15 seconds, that is an excellent sign. Swallow it. That saliva is doing more for you than any mouthwash on the shelf. Then brush gently. Look at the bristles after. Look at the sink. If there is no pink, no streaks of blood, no swollen spots that ache when you press them, your gums are doing their job. Your bloodstream is staying clean. The doorway is closed. If you see blood, even a little, even just sometimes, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. Bleeding gums are not normal. They are not just a sign you brush too hard. They are inflammation. And inflammation that's small, repeated every morning for years, is what quietly ages a body from the inside out. A simple thing you can start tomorrow. Salt water rinse before bed, half a cup of warm water, 1 full teaspoon of salt. More than you'd think, enough that you taste it strongly. Swish for 30 seconds, don't rinse it away after. Let the salt sit on the gums while you sleep. It draws out the bacteria the way a poultice draws out a splinter. People who do this every night for 2 weeks often tell me their gums stopped bleeding entirely. That's the first sign. The mouth. Now let's go to the next room, the bathroom. And I'm going to talk plainly here because most people are too embarrassed to ever ask their doctor about this. But after 60, this matters more than almost anything else. How long does it take you in the morning from the moment you sit down to the moment you stand up? If the answer is 1 minute, maybe 2, and what comes out is soft, formed, the shape of a banana, and the toilet paper comes back almost clean, you are doing something right that most people your age are not. That is not a small thing. That is one of the clearest windows into the health of your gut, your inflammation levels, and your entire digestive system. Most people get this backwards. They think a good bowel movement means soft, loose, easy. It does not. Loose stool means your gut is irritated, your body is pulling water in to flush something out, and the lining of your colon is taking damage. On the other side, hard, dry, painful stool means dehydration, low fiber, and a colon that's been sitting too long. The healthy middle, soft, formed 1 minute, clean wipe, that's the goal. That is the body in balance. There is one mistake I see again and again with people in their 60s and 70s. They think they're doing something healthy by drinking prune juice every morning, or taking a fiber drink, or eating yogurt by the bowlful, or trying every cleanse on the internet, and then they wonder why their stomach hurts all afternoon. Here is the truth. About 7 out of 10 adults worldwide cannot fully digest dairy after the age of 40. Not just a little discomfort, actually cannot break it down. The lactose sits in the gut, pulls water in, and the result is loose stool, gas, and a stomach that never quite settles. Prune juice does almost the same thing through a different mechanism. These aren't health foods for an older body. They are gentle laxatives in disguise. If you wake up tomorrow and your bathroom visit is fast, formed, and clean, you don't need any of those things. Your gut is working. Leave it alone. What actually helps? Real food, in real shapes. A handful of berries with breakfast, a whole pear, a bowl of oatmeal with chia seeds stirred in, a tomato, sliced with a little salt, spinach, lightly cooked, a kiwi cut in half and eaten with a spoon. These are the foods that build a clean, easy bowel movement without irritating anything. And one more thing. Don't sit on the toilet for 15 minutes scrolling through your phone. The body wasn't built for that. If nothing happens in 2 or 3 minutes, get up and try again later. People who spend 10 or 20 minutes straining every morning are doing 10 to 20 times more damage to that part of the body than someone who finishes in a minute. Over years, that adds up. Hemorrhoids, fissures, prolapse, almost all of it traces back to 2 simple things: loose stool and too much time sitting. That's the second sign. The bathroom. Now look down at your hands. Not the wrinkles, not the spots. Look at your fingernails. Right now, while I'm talking, hold them up to the light. A healthy nail on a healthy older adult looks like this. Smooth surface, soft pink color underneath, no deep ridges running up and down, no horizontal lines cutting across, no yellow tint, no brittleness at the tips that breaks off in pieces. If your nails look like that, pink, smooth, even, your body is quietly telling you something important. Your circulation is reaching the very ends of your fingers. Your liver is processing nutrients well. Your protein levels are steady. Your immune system is holding the line. Nails are one of the last places to get fed by the bloodstream, and one of the first places to show trouble when something is off. Vertical ridges, those thin lines running from your cuticle to your fingertip, usually mean your body is short on vitamins and minerals, especially if you don't eat many fruits or vegetables. The fix is not a multivitamin. The fix is real color on your plate: spinach, peppers, berries, sweet potatoes, eggs. Horizontal ridges, lines that go across the nail like little speed bumps, those are different. Those usually show up after a serious illness, a long stretch of stress, or sudden weight loss. The body diverted resources away from nail growth to handle something more urgent. It's a record, a timeline of what your body went through. Yellow, thick nails, especially on the toes, usually point to a fungal infection, but not always. Sometimes they point to circulation problems, or to the early signs of a thyroid issue. Pale, almost white nail beds can mean low iron or anemia, which after 70 is more common than most people realize. And brittle nails that split and peel often point to low protein intake. Here's the part most people miss. The liver is the body's chemistry plant. When something goes wrong in there, when it runs short on a nutrient, when it's working too hard, it sends the message outward to the places it can afford to. The skin, the hair, and especially the nails. The nail is a slow-motion newspaper of your inner health. So here's what I want you to do tomorrow. After you wash your hands, before breakfast, take 10 seconds and really look. Hold them up to a window. Compare your two thumbs side by side. See if the color is even. See if the surface is smooth. If they look good, pink, smooth, no ridges, no brittleness, that's a quiet victory. Your body is feeding itself well. Keep doing what you're doing. Eat eggs with breakfast a few times a week. Add a small handful of walnuts or almonds. Pair iron-rich foods, like leafy greens or lean beef, with something acidic like lemon or tomato. The vitamin C helps your body actually absorb the iron. That's the third sign, the nails. Now stop for a moment. Notice something. The mouth, the bathroom, the nails. 3 completely different parts of the body, 3 different systems, and yet they're all telling you the same story about your blood, your inflammation, your circulation, your nutrients. The body is not a collection of separate problems. It is one quiet conversation. And after 60, the parts that were always whispering start to speak a little louder. The next 2 signs are the loudest of all. Tomorrow morning, when you swing your legs out of bed and put your feet on the floor, pause. Don't stand up yet. Just sit there for a second. Now stand and take your first 3 steps. How does it feel? Are both legs solid? Do they both feel like yours? Or does one feel a little heavier, a little slower, a little bit asleep? This is the sign almost nobody pays attention to, and it might be the most important one on this entire list, because the legs are the farthest point from the heart. They are the top floor of the building, and when the water pressure in the building drops, even a little, the top floor is where the faucet runs dry first. There was a study following thousands of older adults across Europe and the United States. More than half of the people who eventually had a stroke reported, in the days and weeks before, a strange feeling in one leg. Not pain, not a cramp, just a vague heaviness on one side. A foot that caught on a door frame that had never caught before. A slight drag in one shoe that wore out the toe faster than the other. Almost all of them brushed it off. I slept funny. I'm just tired. I haven't been walking enough. And then one morning, it wasn't a small thing anymore. Here's why this happens. The left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. The right side of the brain controls the left. When a small blood vessel deep in the brain starts to narrow, long before it ever blocks completely, the signal it sends to one leg gets a little weaker, a little less crisp. The leg still works. It just doesn't feel quite right. And that small, off-balance feeling is the brain trying to tell you something while there's still time to listen. So tomorrow, when you take those first 3 steps, here's what I want you to check. Are both feet lifting cleanly off the floor, or is one toe scraping just slightly? Is your weight balanced on both legs, or are you favoring one side without meaning to? Can you walk in a straight line down the hallway without drifting? If everything feels even, balanced, and natural, that is one of the most reassuring signs in this entire video. It means the deep vessels in your brain are open, the signals are reaching their destination, your nervous system is intact. If something feels off, and especially if it comes and goes, please don't wait. There's a name in medicine for an episode where a leg feels weak or numb for a few minutes and then goes back to normal. It's called a transient ischemic attack. 3 out of 4 people who have one will have a full stroke within 3 months, and half of them within 2 days. 2 days. The body is not whispering at that point, it is shouting. The good news? If you catch it during that window, the damage can be almost completely prevented. That's the 4th sign, the legs. And now the last one, the most important 60 seconds of your morning. Walk to the bathroom mirror, look at yourself, and before you do anything else, smile. A real smile. Show your teeth. Now look closely. Are both corners of your mouth lifting evenly? Or is one side pulling up while the other side hangs back just a little? Is the line from your nose to your lip the same depth on both sides of your face? Now stick your tongue straight out. Look at it in the mirror. Does it come straight forward, pointing right at you? Or does it drift to one side? Now say something out loud. A simple sentence. Your name. The day of the week. Today is Tuesday, and I had eggs for breakfast. Listen to your own voice. Are the words clean? Or does one corner of your mouth feel heavy, the consonants a little soft, the speech just slightly slower than yesterday? This 60-second test, done in front of your bathroom mirror, is one of the most powerful things a person over 60 can do. Because the muscles of your face, the corner of your mouth, the tip of your tongue, the tiny muscles that shape every word, they are controlled by some of the most delicate nerves in the entire body. And those nerves are fed by some of the smallest, most fragile blood vessels in the brain. When something is wrong, this is almost always where it shows up first. Before the leg, before the speech is obviously slurred to other people, before anyone else notices a thing. You see it in the mirror in that 1 second when you smile and one corner doesn't quite come along. If both sides of your face lift the same, if your tongue goes straight forward, if your words come out clean and even, then I want you to take a real breath of relief. Because that simple, balanced reflection in the mirror, that means the deepest, most fragile vessels in your brain are still open. The control center is intact. The wiring is good. That is one of the strongest signs of true brain health a person your age can have. Stronger than any number on a blood test. If something is off, and especially if it's new, even slightly, do not wait until tomorrow to see if it goes away. Time is the one thing that can't be replaced once it's lost in this situation. The window where doctors can stop a stroke and reverse the damage is only about 4 hours wide. 4 hours. That's it. So take this test seriously. 60 seconds in front of your mirror every morning. It costs nothing. It might be the most valuable minute of your day. That's the 5th sign, the mirror. 5 signs: mouth, bathroom, nails, legs, mirror. If none of them showed up tomorrow morning, none. I want you to understand exactly what that means. It means your circulation is reaching every corner of your body. Your inflammation is low. your nervous system is intact, your gut is balanced, your blood is clean enough to feed the smallest, farthest vessels. That is not luck. That is not genetics. That is a body that has been quietly maintained day after day by small choices most people don't even notice they're making. You are doing better than most people your age, and most people will never know it. So how do we keep it that way? 3 small habits. None of them cost a thing. All of them can be done in the first 30 minutes of waking up. The first is the simplest. Before your feet hit the floor, lie still for 5 minutes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take 5 long, slow breaths. Then turn onto your side and use your arm to push yourself up gently. Sit on the edge of the bed for 1 full minute before you stand. That single minute prevents more falls and more morning strokes than any pill ever invented. The second is a glass of warm water. Not cold, not hot, about body temperature. Around 8 ounces, sipped slowly, not gulped. Your blood has been thickening all night. That glass of water is the first thing that thins it back out and starts moving it again. Skip the coffee for 10 minutes, skip the orange juice. The sugar hits a fasted body too hard. Just warm water, slow sips. It's the cheapest medicine in your kitchen. The third is the one most people skip. Before you check your phone, before you turn on the news, before you let the worries of yesterday come flooding back, sit by a window for 1 quiet minute. Look at the light. Take 3 breaths. Think of one thing, just one, that you are grateful for. This isn't a feeling, it's biology. When the first thing your brain processes in the morning is stress, your blood pressure climbs, your vessels tighten, and the dangerous morning window gets more dangerous. When the first thing your brain processes is calm, even 60 seconds of it, the whole system softens. The vessels stay open, the heart stays steady, and the day starts in your favor. Warm water, 1 slow minute of stillness, 1 thought of gratitude. That's it. There's a line I read somewhere a long time ago in a book about getting older, and I've never forgotten it. It said the secret to a long life isn't found in the big decisions. It's found in the small mornings, in what you notice, in what you don't ignore. After 60, the body stops shouting, it starts whispering, and the people who age the best are not the people with the best genes or the most money or the strictest diets. They are the people who learned somewhere along the way to listen. 5 signs, mouth, bathroom, nails, legs, mirror. Tomorrow morning, take 3 minutes, run through them, and if every one of them comes back clean, smile at yourself in that mirror. You've earned it. If this helped you, leave a comment with the number of signs you woke up without. I read every one. Send this to someone you love who's over 60, a brother, a sister, an old friend you haven't called in a while. It might be the most important 3 minutes of their week. Take care of yourself tomorrow morning. I'll see you again soon.